Jensen. It's a great honor to have you here with us today. Welcome back, Taiwan.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
You gave a Computex keynote, and what do you hope to achieve at Computex this year?
Well, this is the beginning of a new age in computing. You know that computers are not only just a vibrant industry, and one of the largest industries in the world is also the industry that underpins the bedrock of almost every other industry. And for 60 years, the computing model has been largely the same, general purpose computing. It's almost like having one appliance that's used for everything.
Yes.
Or one tool that's used for everything, general purpose. However, that tool over the years has improved so quickly that the fact that it was general purpose was a good thing. And unfortunately, the progress has slowed tremendously. The architecture of this instrument, this tool, limits its ability to continue to grow. And so at a time when the world's data and the amount of computation we want to do continues to grow exponentially, we need a new approach. And so we have discovered 20 years ago a new approach we call accelerated computing. And that foundation led to artificial intelligence, which now is reshaping the computer industry.
Of course.
And so we're at the beginning of the generative AI era, and it's reshaping every aspect of computing. And for Taiwan in the computer industry, this is very exciting because $1 trillion of data centers has been built, and of course hundreds of millions of computers have been built. And now we're in the beginning where all of it wants to be modernized,
yes,
improved in a very dramatic way. And so it creates enormous opportunity for Taiwan and all the companies here.
Yes, this time we are so eagerly anticipating the establishment of the Taiwan R&D Center. As far as I know, it is the first of its kind, the first one in Asia. So would you like to share with us what are the major factors that influence your decision on choosing Taiwan as location for this very important center?
Well, we have a very long history in Taiwan. A long time ago, when I was young and NVIDIA was young, I came to Taiwan to seek partners to help us build our chips. And I was fortunate to have the support of TSMC,
yes,
the packaging companies here in Taiwan, SPIL, many assembly companies here, Foxconn and ASUS and MSI and Quanta, and so many companies that helped us along the way. And so for over a quarter of a century now, over 25 years, we've been doing
that's a long history.
Very long history with companies in Taiwan. And so that's one reason. Another reason is the technology excellence.
This is the ecosystem here?
The ecosystem is unparalleled. Every aspect of building chips and building computers are located here, all the way down to the most minute complex connectors that connect very high-speed cables are manufactured here. And so the technology is excellent. The work ethic of the people here are incredible, and the companies have a spirit of partnership, yes, that has really set Taiwan apart. And so I'm a huge fan of the company, the industry here, because it goes back with us for a very long time. And that's a good foundation. But Taiwan is the source of so much of our engineering, and we have hundreds of engineers here. And over the next 5 years, we're going to hire another 1,000 engineers here. And so we're going to set up our R&D center here, a major R&D center here. We're seeking for a large plot of land so that we can build a significant headquarters here.
Okay.
And so if anybody has some property they'd like to tell me about, please let me know.
Well, what a good news. Yeah. So with the R&D center is opening and the expected introduction of supercomputer, how would this benefit our, let's say, mid-business and startup?
Well, we started building a supercomputer here called Taipei 1. In the past generation, software was written by software engineers,
yes,
on a laptop. And today, it's impossible to write artificial intelligence software just with an engineer. You still need engineers, but you need a supercomputer in the back to help you write the software. The software is gigantic, It's incredible, and it does incredible things. It's software that no humans can write, and so you need a supercomputer to help you do it. Well, we built one here called Taipei 1, and it is the leading AI supercomputer here in Taiwan, and we're going to expand on it every single year because as we hire engineers, we need to give them supercomputers.
Wow.
And so Taipei 1 is going to grow quite significantly here. We also use Taipei 1 to collaborate with our partners. When MediaTek or TSMC or Foxconn are working with us on developing artificial intelligence software, Taipei 1 gives us a supercomputer to go do that. I would really urge Taiwan to invest in more AI supercomputers here. You know, this is the instrument of knowledge creation in the future. In the past, knowledge creation was largely done by humans. But in the future, the supercomputer is going to help us discover new knowledge that we couldn't discover ourselves.
Yes.
And so without an AI supercomputer, it's like a astronomer without a telescope. It's like a biologist without a microscope. It's like a genomicist who doesn't have a gene sequencing instrument.
Yes, yes.
You know, you have to have the instrument of science in order to advance the science.
Yes. Also on June 5th, many local entrepreneurs are invited to your summit. If AI technology is an ongoing revolution, how will these entrepreneurs collaborate with NVIDIA to ride on the wave of innovations?
This is really a great time because the whole industry has been reset. The computer architecture is reset from CPUs to now GPUs. Software is reset from instructions and programs to large language models, AI models. And the way you interact with a computer is reset. Instead of giving it commands or instructions that it follows, you tell the computer your intentions and it understands what you mean.
Yeah, they create.
They create a plan. They perform the task for you. And so this is a brand new generation. Everything is reset. So for entrepreneurs, this is a great time. If I were an entrepreneur, this is the best of times because you're at the starting lines of a new generation that's going to last 10, 15 years.
Yes, you certainly give us a future picture. Is it NVIDIA that is going to provide custom-made AI services to help companies in different industries? Somewhat like TSMC does for AI, is that right?
Yeah, we created, TSMC is an unbelievable chip foundry. The world needs an AI foundry. And the reason for that is because you want to create custom AI just like you want to create custom chips.
Yes.
Without TSMC, NVIDIA would have no GPUs. We needed someone with the semiconductor technology, the process for manufacturing, the manufacturing scale with factories, and of course, the engineers to work with us, the service engineers. AI needs the same thing. NVIDIA has the technology, we have the process and methodology of creating AIs, and we have, of course, a very large scale of AI supercomputers. We could help customers build their custom AIs. We've done so for ServiceNow. We're working with SAP. We're working with Cadence. We're working with many companies. And these companies are building their own custom AI so that those AIs are skills that they could rent to their customers. In the future, all of these platforms will not only have tools that they offer today, but AI agents that they can rent out as employees, if you will.
Is it mainly because of Blackwell that enables the vision?
Blackwell is the supercomputer underneath. Without a great supercomputer, without a great AI factory, you cannot be an AI foundry. Blackwell are the instruments inside our factories.
Yes.
In a lot of ways, you know, Blackwell is to us what ASML is to TSMC. It's an instrument that is inside the factory that is really quite essential.
Speaking of TSMC, we know that TSMC and Samsung are two major players of your foundry operation. However, diversifying supply chain must be a long-term and critical strategies for NVIDIA. So from your point of view, what are the qualifications that a foundry must possess in order to provide chip of quality comparable to TSMC? Please tell us more about your partnership with TSMC.
Well, diversity and redundancy is essential to every company's resilience.
Yes.
And wherever we can, we seek out diversity. Wherever we can, we seek out redundancy. But the technology that is available from TSMC is quite extraordinary. And it's quite extraordinary in multiple ways. First of all, their technology is excellent. It's of course, the semiconductor technology, but designing the transistor and manufacturing at scale, the complexity of the products that they do for us is really quite extraordinary. Remember, NVIDIA builds supercomputers. Most countries would build a supercomputer every 4 or 5 years. We are building supercomputers, AI factories, every single day. We manufacture them at scale. And to manufacture it at scale is not just one GPU for us. It's GPU, CPU, networking chips, switch chips. There are so many chips. I think there's like 7 different chips in one of our AI factories. And these AI factories are gigantic. Manufacturing this is not for the faint of heart. And so TSMC does that extraordinarily well. TSMC, of course, is also incredibly agile. It's quite extraordinary to see a company that builds custom products do it at the volume that they do with the agility that they have. It's almost like going to McDonald's and they manufacture things at high volume, but you could ask for it however you like it.
Wow.
You know, it's kind of an extraordinary thing. Or you go to a fine restaurant and the food is incredible. However, you want it now in volume, and they do it at scale. It's quite an extraordinary thing what they do to balance the technology expertise, the sensation, the feeling that they are here just for you. And every day I'm changing my plans, and they have just no trouble.
You do?
Oh yeah, sure.
What a client.
It's incredible what they do for us. But that's what it takes. That's what it takes to be a foundry.
Yes. Well, we are now all in an AI era. In the foreseeable future, AI would be everywhere. We still so worried that maybe one day AI will be beyond our control, thinking and deciding on its own. Could that ever happen?
Well, we can't let it happen. And so, as you know, autonomous and automatic technologies has to be built carefully. A plane is automatic. It has autopilot. It is possible to take off a plane without a pilot inside, have the plane fly wherever it wants to fly, and land wherever it wants to land, completely autonomously. Of course, we would not let that happen. The safety system associated with air travel alone, the pilots, the redundant autopilot systems, the air traffic controls, all of the other pilots keeping an eye on the pilot, the number of safeguards that are designed into the airline industry keeps it safe. Our conversation about AI and this conversation about a safe AI ensures that over time we'll have many safeguards so that it's a little bit like autopilot. It's a little bit like a plane that we're in, and it provides the service that it provides. It has to follow regulations. It has to be designed with great craft. There are all kinds of engineering expertise, and then safeguards that are surrounding it in every single direction.
Jensen, you personally delivered the DGX H2000 GPU to Ultimate. That really encourages us to think big about how will generative AI achieve in the future. What are your thoughts on AI's ultimate potential?
Well, AI's ultimate potential is to help accelerate the discovery of knowledge for us, to work with us to discover knowledge. Of course, in the near term, it has a large spectrum of opportunities, from the convenient and delightful chatbots and player characters to play with you in games, and to convenience to help you with customer service, which, as we know, customer service and helping customers in a reactive way costs a lot of money. In a proactive way, nobody even does. And yet, every company would love to be proactively providing customer service to their customers, to reach out to a patient and make sure that they take their medication. That's something that nobody would imagine doing today. You can do that with AI to keep your elderly safe, and people who are just come back from the hospital, to make sure that they're taking their medication and that they're taking care of themselves properly. And AI customer service can contact you, and a digital human could interact with you and engage with you in a way that, is quite realistic. And so, from the joyful to the convenient, help us do our everyday chores and email every single day. When I get to work, a nice report has already been generated about all the important things that happen in my day and so on and so forth. Basically virtual assistants that help you be more productive, to helping companies drive more productivity. As we know, today the greatest challenge is inflation.
Yes.
We're seeing inflation everywhere. When there's inflation, everybody, whatever they make, is the buying power is so substantially less, it puts a lot of hardship on families. We need to make sure that inflation is put under control, and inflation needs productivity to bring it back into control.
Yes.
And so I think AI could also help us with productivity.
Yeah. Nowadays, more and more AI information centers are built up around the world. However, they all consume lots of power. So what are your concerns on power shortage in terms of its impact on the development of AI?
In the near term, we do have a great deal of power challenges. And so whatever power we have to put the best equipment into it so that the companies could be productive. However, this is the great opportunity. AI doesn't care where it learns. AI doesn't care where it goes to school. The world has actually an abundance of energy. They're just in the wrong place. Obviously,
sounds very philosophical.
Well, no, it's not philosophical. It's mathematical. The amount of energy that we get from the sun, the amount of energy we get from thermal, from sustainable energy is quite high. It's just in the wrong place.
Yes.
It's in places where people don't live. They're in deserts. They're in, places that are quite cold. They're in places that are not the most delightful places with wonderful climate and beachfront properties and things like that. And so of course, we need to go make sure that those areas have power generation capabilities. Then we can put data centers there. We could train our AI models there. And when they graduate, we bring the AI models back and use it wherever we like to use it. And so I think in the future, you'll probably see data centers being built in countries that currently are far away from population, far away from the power grid. And there's no reason to build batteries. Just use the energy, train AI models, and bring a trained AI model back to population.
Jensen, how do you think of the Moore's law? Is it still accurate in the AI time?
Moore's law a long time ago reflected the increase in density of transistors. And then, because the most important chip on the planet was a CPU, Moore's law reflected the performance of CPUs for about 30 years. In the context of CPU scaling, CPU performance scaling, that has largely ended. And so we need another approach for continuing to scale the computing power and the computing capabilities. Accelerated computing is clearly the right approach going forward. Everything that can be accelerated should be accelerated. Every data center will be accelerated. And we should use AI as much as we can because AI is incredibly efficient.
Yeah, nowadays the application of AI is reaching almost every dimension of our lives. However, human Android robot doesn't popularize now. When do you think it might become a popular product? And if it does so, how will you envision it might tremendously change our lives?
Humanoid robotics will be as common as cars are today. You got to imagine what a car looks like 100 years ago on the street. What a strange instrument going down the street by itself without a horse in front of it. And so I think 100 years from now, it's very clear we'll have humanoid robots everywhere. It will likely be the largest volume mechanical system the world makes.
Won't be another 100 years ahead, right? Won't be that long.
The beautiful thing about vision is you start from the future and then you work your way back. It's a lot easier than starting from the present and work your way forward. Because of course, the future is easier to predict. Next week is very hard to predict. Next year is very hard to predict. But long term is incredibly easy to predict. And so I think working our way back is easy. Now the question is, if it's clear, so mundane, so commonplace in 100 years, when would it become quite commonplace now? Well, the world needs a lot more manufacturing capability. The number of manufacturers in the world is quite low. Labor force is quite short. And as a result, we're going to continue to see inflation. There are many things that a robot can make that no humans can make or safely make. And so there are things that only robots should build. And so I think it's very clear that we need to have robotics technology. The challenge, of course, is the technology itself is incredibly hard. A robot that understands the physical world, that understands the laws of physics, that when it sets this down on a table, it won't go through it, that it could set it down and leave it. It has to understand all of these common sense things that children somehow learned over the years. And so we have to teach these things to AIs.
I see.
And of course, the common sense, the ability to understand us, all of that technology is evolving very, very quickly. And I think that over the next 2 or 3 years, you're going to see quite significant breakthroughs.
Yeah. Speaking of prediction, in one of your previous interviews, you predicted that within 10 years, the deep learning computation would be a million times advanced from now. So by then, there's going to be 10 million people employed for programming and decoding while leaving the other 8 billions behind. In such an AI-driven world, does that suggest the lives and survives of the majority will be purely determined by the handful of AI technology experts?
Well, AI has this incredible capability to reduce the cost of knowledge. Reducing the cost of learning has the potential to lift society. You put nurses, digital nurses, AI nurses, in developing countries that can't afford to have nurses. You put, AI doctors in countries that can't afford to have AI doctors, can't afford to have doctors. And so all of these different capabilities escalate and raise the capabilities of the developing countries and people who don't have access. Now, the other thing that's really quite clear is that AI is incredibly good at understanding what you need, so you don't have to program it. For the very first time, you have a computer that you don't have to program with a language that most people don't know, computer programs. Anybody can program a computer now. Just go to ChatGPT and ask it to do it. So if you know how to express your intentions, you could communicate with an AI and the AI can write the program for you. So now everybody is a computer programmer. What an amazing thing that we've done. And so we've raised the capability of everyone. We've lowered the access to knowledge and capability, and that should lift all of society.
So we should stay optimistic.
I think the future is going to be really terrific.
Yes. Jensen, does NVIDIA truly face no significant competitors? For example, there's a newly established foundation in the States called UXO, composed of many IT giants, aiming at building, they say, multi-vendor, multi-architectural software ecosystem for all accelerators. Some say it targets and tries to challenge CUDA. My question is, what are your plans on maintaining NVIDIA leading over all the competitors?
Well, we've built some very important systems in the last 20 years. CUDA, of course, is one of the greatest contributions to computer science the world's ever known. And it brought to reality this new approach of computing called accelerated computing, which the world needs. A new type of switch system that was introduced recognizes the importance of NVLink. We've been creating this switch now for 5 generations. We've been working on it for about a decade. And people have now realized the importance of such a switching system. It's a computing fabric, not a networking switch, but it's a computing fabric switch. The technology is incredible. It's incredibly complicated. We've been working on it for decades. And now the world realized the importance of that. And that's good. That's good. I think it recognizes that the work that we do contributes to the industry and to computer science. And our focus as a company, we're a market maker. That's the nature of our company, to dream about the future. Notice all the conversation we have so far is about the future. What technology could do, what technology will be like. We're constantly inside our company thinking about what would the future be like? How can we contribute to inventing this better future? And what can we do today that would lead to a great prosperity for the industry in the future? We're always thinking about expanding the market, creating new markets. We're a market maker, not share taker. That's not our nature. And so we tend to invent the future rather than go copy someone else, and we'll focus on that.
Core value.
That's something
value.
that is really deep in our company.
Jensen, you must have made many key decisions that shape NVIDIA's success today. You mentioned using early indicators of success to guide the company. Would you like to talk more about these early indicators? How to find them along the way?
Many managers and many people have said that the only thing that matters is results. Results, results, results. Always focused on the results. And I've always felt different about that. And I wanted our company not to worry about the results, but to worry about doing the right things.
Well,
that leads to results. Play the game, not the score. Just do your best. Go to school, take the right classes, do your best, do your homework, dedicate yourself to being a good student. The grades will take care of itself. If you go backwards and you teach the children just focus on the grades, they'll take easier classes. They'll focus on just doing well in class and in tests but not learning. And they might learn the wrong things. They might take less risk. They might challenge themselves less. I would prefer that our company challenges itself more. Discover unknown things. Do things that no one else has ever done before. And be willing to fail. And be willing to learn along the way. Rather than, I want you to deliver growth, 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 growth. Or gross margin, gross margin, gross margin, or whatever results. You can't control those things. Don't worry about those things. And so I created a system called Early Indicators of Future Success. Don't worry about future success. Worry about the early indicators of future success. And so what are some of the things of early indicators? You decide for yourself. What are the early indicators that you believe will lead to future success? And that's why our company focuses on that. We don't let somebody else decide for us what's the definition of success. We create it ourselves. And that's why the company has to go create those indicators, work on those indicators, don't worry about anything else, and the results will take care of itself.
You also emphasized the importance of core belief or core value. However, Jensen, we are living in an era full of cynicism. Would you like to elaborate for our young generation, based on your experience, how to hold on the core belief or core value, especially when time becomes really difficult?
Well, I can only talk from my life experience. And building NVIDIA was really difficult. And there's nobody at the company who's been there a long time, or even my partners that has worked with us here in Taiwan over the years would tell you that creating NVIDIA was easy. This is a company that was very difficult to create. And the reason for that is because we had such large ambitions and it took so long to do it. The technology is hard. Inventing a whole new computing approach hasn't been done in 60 years. It doesn't happen very much. And so the ambition is great, the work is hard, and we had a lot of challenges along the way. But the suffering is what made us great. Just as in all craft, just as in all people, a life experience that is filled with, of course, optimism about the future, confidence in yourself, but suffering along the way galvanizes great character. And so I appreciate my past, and I appreciate all the work that my partners have done for me, and all the companies here that have supported me along the way. I appreciate them so deeply because of the suffering that we've endured and their partnership along the way. All the employees that made NVIDIA possible, it makes me appreciate them even more and appreciate the company more and where we are more. And so I think I don't think the young people should be too disturbed by suffering. It's a good thing. It's a blessing. And but be optimistic about the future. Be generous to people. Be kind to people. Help other people. Those are all the things that have helped me. And like I said, focus on the game, and the score will take care of itself.
That's very fruitful. NVIDIA's stock price hit its new high recently, and so has your value. What does that mean to you?
Absolutely nothing. I was trying to think of a good answer. Nobody treat me any different, and I still have a mountain of work in front of me, and so nothing has changed.
NVIDIA's stock price hit its new high recently, and so has your value. What does that mean to you?
Absolutely nothing. I was trying to think of a good answer, but I still wake up the same time. I still work the same way. I ate the same things. I love all the same things. I love all the same people. Nobody treat me any different. And I still have a mountain of work in front of me. And so nothing has changed.
Yep.
And I think that that's probably one of the great things about our company, and one of the good habits that I have, irrespective of adversity or failure. I pick up and go back to work the next day just the same way.
Nowadays, R&D of AI has been regarded as national power. I think most of the American AI companies are facing the same situation, that the US government continue to restrict AI companies from selling high-tech products to China. So how does NVIDIA manage these regulations, except downgrading chip of quality, export to China, keep the market share? I mean, what are your strategies in doing business in China?
Well, we have a duty to comply with whatever policies that are handed down, and but beyond that, we also have a responsibility to be as successful as we can, and so we'll comply with the regulations, build products that are exportable, and serve our customers in China the best we possibly can. We have some really important partners there and customers there. They've been very good to us over the years. It's a very important market. It's a very large market, and so we comply with the regulations. We build the best products that we can to be as competitive as we can, and serve our customers the best we possibly can. And so we balance those two goals just fine. And so we'll do our best.
Yes, Jensen, now you are among nearly 24 business and tech elites to join the Artificial Intelligence, Security and Safe Board. That is to give advice to DHS in order to protect economy from any threats posed by AI. Why did you join the board, and what do you hope to achieve there?
I think that everybody should, all the technology companies should engage in advocating for and doing our best to ensure the safe development of AI. This is a new technology that is advancing very quickly. We need to advance it quickly, number one, so that it could be safe to use. Just like a car needs to be advanced in technology so it's safe to drive. Just like we would prefer that our planes were the most advanced, because the most advanced planes are the safest planes. And so we would like to advance the AI so that it could be safe, that it could function properly. On the other hand, because this is an automation technology, we have to make sure that the safeguards, the guardrails, the policies are put in place so that we could properly advance the technology safely. Wherever we can contribute to the advancement of safe AI, we should try to do that. And when we were invited to do it, I was very delighted to be part of it.
I was very surprised, to see Morris Chang visiting night markets in the late evening with you on TV.
I think it was Morris's first time at the night market.
Really?
Yeah, he wanted to go. And we had oyster fried pancakes, and we had some shaved ice. He really enjoyed it. And mostly, we just enjoy each other's company.
Here, they want to see you. Right here. I can see you.
辉达创办人黄仁勋一句玩笑话，简单明了。全台湾媒体关注的焦点就是他。6月4号才开幕的 Computex， 黄仁勋5月26号就抵达台湾。
Are you all going to be at Computex?
Yes.
I think I will come to Computex.
虽然早在3月预告，此行回台目的就是出席 Computex， 总是穿着黑色皮衣外套。此行回台造成黄仁勋旋风，更被冠上众多绰号“三罩男”、“黑衣男”，屡屡被民众捕获，不是在吃美食，就是在寻找美食的路上。
Go to Tonghua night market. There's a fruit lady, and she has been working there for 43 years. Wow. And every time I come to Taiwan, I go see her, and she is so incredible. So go see her, okay?
黄仁勋喜欢用台味把感情，连习惯晚上10点上床睡觉的昌中谋都陪着黄仁勋到宁夏夜市续摊，两人见证 AI 起飞的交情不言而喻。黄仁勋透露，要维持身材，面对美食只能克制自己的胃口，浅尝即止。5月31日，黄仁勋现身敦化南路上的台菜餐厅，宴请台湾 AI 科技产业链大佬。第一次造访的餐厅已经被纳入黄仁勋的美食地图当中。
Jensen's map?
Yes, delicious food map of you.
To do what?
To eat.
To eat? Oh, well, we need to put this on the roadmap.
杯空交错中，台湾的 AI 生态圈壮大成型，从黄仁勋辐射出去的同心圆、护国群山拔地而起。
I'm always investing in Taiwan. This is one of our most important countries. And of course, this is the beginning of our company's business because we build our wafers here.
Jensen 为什么会那么重视？他为什么会讲出台湾第一？我想这个都有它的一定的道理。
AI 就是会在那个先进的这个晶片制造以外，替台湾再创造一座叫做护国群山。
黄仁勋被网友们昵称“国民干爹”，遇见粉丝合照签名，来者不拒。来台湾更喜欢爬爬照。6月1号现身台北大巨蛋开球，吸引超过26000位球迷同欢，一举打破终止纪录。
我来选择你等球的时阵，遐尼侪人看我足紧张的，也去伤悬，3暗时袂困，所以拜托的，我现在要等球的时阵，大人目睭起一下。
黄仁勋讲话外形极具个人风格魅力，一头灰白发藏在眼镜后的瞳孔炯炯有神，都让粉丝为之疯狂。抢在 Computex 开展前的台大演讲，现场3000个座位，入场券更是一票难求。
他是一个有理想，然后愿意脚踏实地去执行。我觉得他很有台湾企业家的 DNA。
自己本身是做机器学习相关领域的，所以想要来看一下黄仁勋的演讲。
台湾人喜欢黄仁勋，不仅仅是他打开工业革命4.0，开创 AI 新纪元。
Welcome. Here we go. About my size. We have some friends to join us. So the future of robotics is here. The next wave of AI.
而是在这一波科技新浪潮中，把台湾摆在 C 位，放进讲稿中，大力宣传。
台湾是无名的英雄，确实世界的支柱。一起，我们推动了产业的复兴。
演讲内容肯定台湾是世界 AI 革新的后盾，黄仁勋更用行动证明，亲自到 Computex 为队友站台。
Hey, CC, Barry. Wow. Look at all these people.
这应该是史上参观人数最多的 Computex， 除了科技巨头等着黄仁勋为台湾的 AI 产业注入新的活水源头，现场的粉丝更是挤得黄仁勋寸步难行。
Taiwan is the home of many of NVIDIA's technology partners. So our partners are very important to us, and very important to our company, and very important to the industry.
听在科技产业大佬耳里 ，AI 教父的这句话更像是一句叮咛：台湾需要把握住这一次产业进化的机会，站稳人工智慧发展的起点，才能在这波 AI 新浪潮中立于不败之地。
Are we too serious by far? Because here I have 3 other questions proposed by young members of our team. They say, hey, these are the things that social media users would be really interested in, but they are more personal. It's about food and culture. Shall we try?
好。
好。Only 3, okay. It's easy. Number 1, what Taiwanese food that you usually cook at home? You cook at home?
We love cooking at home. Cooking at home is dinner time on the weekends is a very special time for me and for my family. It's
you
a good
or
time.
Lori who cook?
Well, both of us, if we can. Yeah. There's some dishes that I just don't know how to contribute, but with the kids growing up, we've always enjoyed deciding what to make, going shopping together as a family, buying all the ingredients, bringing it back, making dinner together, having a cocktail. It was always a perfect weekend times. And so dinner time and cooking always brings a lot of joy to me.
Wow. Number 2, still food. What kinds of Taiwanese food are your favorite?
Oh, it's just, I think simple foods are my favorite. Yeah. 苍蝇头 is 苍蝇头 is.
Oh, 苍蝇头.
Yeah, 蛮好吃的.
It's very spicy. Yeah. I think it's everybody's curiosity. We've seen you really like to visit Taiwanese night markets. What attracts your interest so much in these night markets?
People are nice. They're working so hard, and they're trying to make a living. And it's nice to support them. When I was a child, I still have memories of going to the night market, and I enjoy the night market so much that I got my face cut at the night market.
Oh yeah, you mentioned yesterday.
I have a big scar on my face because of the night market. But I always have wonderful memories of the night market, and my parents used to take us a lot, and somehow it's always had a real fun place in my heart, and of course the green mangoes are terrific, the fruit lady's fantastic, and so everybody works so hard, everybody's so nice, and they're trying to make a living. It's kind of nice to be there to support them.
Gladly, the good old days not just remain in memories.
Yeah, and I get to enjoy those memories.
Yeah. I was very surprised, to see Maurice Chang visiting night markets in the late evening with you on TV. I say, hey, we hardly see him appear in public this way.
I think it was Morris's first time at the night market.
Really?
Yeah.
So how did you persuade him to go there?
He wanted to go, and we had oyster fried pancakes, and we had some shave ice. Two great places, and he really enjoyed it, and mostly we just enjoy each other's company.
Jensen, now last but not least, since NVIDIA has become the world engine to push AI revolution moving forward, we'd like to hear your advice for everyone in this technology renaissance.
Well, this is a new beginning. This is a new beginning that we've been preparing for all along. And I would advise that, of course, the technology industries here are all in on AI. And I'm so happy to see that. All of our partners have so many new products. People know that NVIDIA is at a run rate of over $100 billion a year now. And we manufacture the vast majority of that here in Taiwan. So that growth opportunity, that engine, is going to benefit Taiwan. And so I think the companies here are really going to prosper in the AI revolution. On top of that, it's a reset of how software is created and what kind of software can be created. The companies all over the ecosystem here should jump on this opportunity because it's a reset. It's new. Nobody is further ahead as anybody else. However, the technology is moving very, very fast. And so I would advise that if your company does not have a strategy in AI, you must have a strategy in AI. If you were a student, if you haven't learned about AI, you should engage AI and try to learn something about it. If you're in computer science, of course, this would be a very important field. Robotics would be a very important field. So I would engage AI as quickly as you can because this is one of the most amazing technology revolutions in history and a great opportunity for prosperity in the future.
Jensen, thank you so much for sharing your precious time and wisdom with us.
Thank you so much.
Hope to see you very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have some present for you.
Oh my goodness.
Good food.
I have to say that your questions are thoughtful.
Wow, that relieve all my pressures all around.
It's thoughtful, and you're conversational, and I thought you did a fantastic job. That was an excellent interview. I might become a fan and watch your interviews.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hope to visit you in North California.